This is J Mac Sports 24/7. I am J Mac. Thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for viewing the channel. This is your first time. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and definitely hit the like button and share the video. I've been away for a minute because I need to take a hiatus, a sabbatical. I needed to recalibrate myself because the football season takes a toll on my mental. It takes a toll physically. It takes a toll on my family because I am intolerable to deal with during the football season. I would imagine you probably have the same experiences yourselves in your own homes if you are as dedicated to the game and to your team as I am. So, I'm back. I had to take as I said, take a little break because it was the OTAs, the mini camps, the training camp, the preseason, the talking heads, which is 24-hour information media that we have, this information superhighway that we have called the internet. As always, discussion, and then we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, a topic that keeps a lot of talking heads in business. Without having the Dallas Cowboys over the summer, I don't see how a lot of these sports programs stay in business, because that they will find a way to get the Dallas Cowboys in as a segment and as a discussion. But I had to step away from all that, and here I am again. We're about to have our first preseason game this Sunday against the LA Raiders, the Rams, and then the next one is the Raiders, I believe. It's the Rams, yes. I started doing this video last night actually, but it kept, my recording kept stopping after 5 minutes. I couldn't understand why. I have this new camera, this new Sony VZ1 channel camera, and by the default settings is once you start recording to stop at 5 minutes. I didn't know that because I didn't read all the way through the default settings, but I pretty much discovered later on that I can set it to record for 30 minutes, and I'm not trying to do a 30-minute video, more like 7-8 minutes, but I'm kind of rambling at the moment. But anyhow, I started this, and then it was going to be on CeeDee Lamb and somewhat Dak Prescott, but more so CeeDee Lamb, because that is the topic for the Cowboys, not just for the Cowboys, for the entire sports media world when they talk about football and the Dallas Cowboys, because CeeDee Lamb and the Dallas Cowboys are in dispute of the contract. CeeDee Lamb is under his final year of his contract, and he's held out all of OTAs, minicamp. He's not in training camp right now, and therefore most likely he won't be playing in the preseason as well, which is okay because we need to get our rookies, up to speed and see what they look like, and I'm okay with that. But he's been fined $50,000 a year, I believe. $50,000 a year, $50,000 a day, I think, when he doesn't show up, and that fine will still be held true if and when he has his new contract. He still have to pay that fine, so it will be peanuts because he will have a pretty hefty new contract when it comes to fruition. So what really prompted me to want to do this video on CeeDee Lamb and get started back into this content creator stuff here on YouTube is I was watching Hanging with the Boys the other day, and one of the hosts on the show, Jesse Holley, a former UNC basketball player and turned football player, made a comment, and so I really had to jump into the fray. That his comment was on the line that CeeDee Lamb had the upper hand in the contract and negotiations, and I respectfully disagree with his assessment. I do not believe so, because I believe the Dallas Cowboys, more so Jerry Jones, have the upper hand with the contract negotiation. And I'm going to tell you why very quickly. The Dallas Cowboys, the most watched, the most talked about, the most hated, the most loved team of all sports, All sports. We're not just talking about football, all sports. And I would say behind them, probably the New York Yankees, probably the LA Lakers, the most hated, the most loved, internationally known, so many prime times games during a year. The Cowboys can go 0-17. You know, it will be a topic. Well, of course, any team will be a topic going 0-17, but not more so than the Dallas Cowboys. In other words, they will still sell out no matter where they go, because every team put their best effort in front of the Dallas Cowboys when they're playing the Dallas Cowboys, because they know it's prime time, they know it's national, international, and they're playing the Dallas Cowboys. So they put their best game up against those boys. So CeeDee Lamb, unfortunately, plays for the Dallas Cowboys. And so if he was with any other team, I will give Jesse Holley his due. Yes, he would. CeeDee Lamb would have more chips on the table. He would have the upper hand. But he's playing for the Dallas Cowboys. And the Dallas Cowboys, as far as I know, haven't won a Super Bowl in 27 years. And yet the Cowboys continue to be the most talked about, as I just alluded to, the most watched, the most envied, the most hated. So Jerry Jones knows this. He's very aware of this. During the preseason press conference, the media asked Jerry is he's considered stepping down from the general manager position and give it to someone else. Jerry, quickly cast that aside. No, that's not happening. He's going to continue. I am a proponent of Jerry Jones letting go the reins of the general managership and give it to someone else. I would love that. Being a lifelong Dallas Cowboy fan since 1977, I would love that, because I don't think he has the withal to understand how to manage a football team successfully. Business-wise, I do, but to win games or postseason, he does not. So Jerry's not going anywhere. And so if not many players have had the upper hand during negotiations with Jerry Jones, one did in the beginning. His name was Emmitt Smith, the league's all-time leading rusher. The Dallas Cowboys and Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones had just come off winning their first Super Bowl. The following season, the Cowboys started 0-2. Well, who's holding out, right? Emmitt Smith. Well, after that second loss, and mind you, at that time, and I still think it still stands true today, no team have ever won a Super Bowl going 0-2 out of the gate. Well, we did, of course. You know the history. Jerry Jones caved very quickly, because Emmitt Smith can say, we don't do nothing without Emmitt Smith. We was a running team. He's the all-time leading rusher. And so therefore, Emmitt got paid. CeeDee Lamb had an incredible year last season. Finished last season top 3 in the NFL in reception yardage, touchdown, targets, and yards after catch. 4th most receiving yards, first 4 seasons, with 5,145 yards in NFL history. Only Justin Jefferson, Michael Thomas, and Randy Moss have accumulated more in the first 4 seasons. As I said, he's in the final season of his contract, $17.9 million. Even though with those accolades, those during the season, what has he and the Dallas Cowboys done for Jerry Jones and the Cowboy Nation in the postseason? He does not have any championships, postseason wins as Emmitt Smith had. So that gave Emmitt Smith a lot of hand. Now, don't get me wrong. CeeDee has hand. He has hand, but he don't have Jerry Jones' hand. And Jerry Jones said, okay, so again, as I stated, I was starting this video out yesterday about CeeDee Lamb, and then in the media today, at one of the press conferences or interviews, Jerry was asked by a reporter. And the key word is urgency. The key word here is urgency. Does Jerry Jones see any urgency in getting the contract done with CeeDee Lamb? And somewhat nonchalantly, Jerry kind of dismissed that. He don't feel any urgency. He likes what's happening in training camp right now, and he wants to see what these guys can do. So it's how you take it. You can take it as okay, let's see what these guys are doing. Or if you see CeeDee Lamb and you're holding out and you've been sitting at home and you hear and see this video, this interview, this question asked of Jerry and his response, I guess he feels some kind of way because he responded on social media with LOL. Is that like sarcastic or just Jerry being Jerry? But the media is running crazy with this right now. They're running like, okay, CeeDee Lamb does not like this. But then I also hear reports that CeeDee Lamb unfollowed the Dallas Cowboys. So is that like chess? You're really not, this is not really, excuse me, how you feel, but you want your opponent to assume you're feeling this way. So now they're playing chess. They're trying to guess each other's moves and anticipate and so forth. So I want CeeDee Lamb in, and I'm hoping that we get this done because we do need CeeDee Lamb because CeeDee Lamb is I'm not going to say a prodigy, but he is our undisputed number one wide receiver. And we will need him. But I think we can do without him in the preseason. And I think that's what Jerry Jones was, trying to articulate. But then there's Dak Prescott and his contract, and after that contract, we have to deal with Michael Parsons' contract. But Dak Prescott's contract, Dak is in training camp right now, and it's rumored that Dak is going to get somewhat about $60 million a year. Some people say it might be more, way more. If not with the Dallas Cowboys, Dak gonna get paid because. And I'm jumping from CeeDee to Dak right quick. Dak don't have a viable backup. Trey Lance and Cooper Rush. I mean, the last viable backups we had was Dak Prescott, with Tony Romo. Well, he was like third string backup. We didn't know Dak was Dak at that time. Now, at this point, believe it or not, I cannot remember who that backup was of Tony Romo. I think he went down as well after Tony Romo, and then Dak was third string, and he came in and he became Dak Prescott. Tony Romo was a backup. The last viable backup after Tony Romo, but before Tony Romo, was Danny White. As far as I can remember, I don't know any other quarterback put up the type of numbers like Danny White did until Tony Romo came. Danny White was Roger Staubach's backup. He was also our starting punter. Now, that may be surprising to a lot of the young bucks who may not know that about Danny White, or the Cowboys had a starting quarterback who used to be the starting punter. Now, I think he gave up those duties when he became the starting quarterback when the greatest quarterback of all time, in my view, retired, Roger Staubach. But before then, he was the backup quarterback and he was a starting punter. So Danny White was a viable backup. And then I think Craig Morton was a starter, or was he a backup? I think he was a starter, and Roger Staubach was his backup and took him over, I believe. Anyway, I kind of digressed. I just want to give you my view on, I disagree with Jesse Holley, respectfully disagree with Jesse Holley, that now if the Cowboys come out winning, then the chips that are the hand that CeeDee does have really diminishes some. It really dwindles down, and he loses chips on the table. Now, he's still viable. He's still a viable commodity worth to other teams. And, I mean, Cowboys, I think, can still franchise him, I believe. So, like I said, CeeDee will get paid, but and he will get paid with another team, but he will not have the same type of money he would be if he stayed in Dallas, because Dallas is such a visual team, and so you have a lot of residual income when you are playing for the Dallas Cowboys, and because you own TV all the time, especially prime time, and all the engagements that the Cowboys are involved with. So CeeDee Lamb would lose some money in those regards, but he will get paid going with another team. He's still really young and still has not even reached his prime yet. So Jerry have to consider that. But right now, Jerry has the upper hand. And somebody commented that, well, Zeke got paid, and Zeke got paid, I believe, because even though the Cowboys did not won anything in the postseason, Zeke got paid because I really do think Jerry Jones saw Emmitt Smith and Zeke. Coming out of Ohio State, he came out of the gate and he was kicking tail, taking names. And so I think that's what he initially saw. Plus, he was like the media darling. CeeDee Lamb is not the media darling like Zeke was. Zeke was the darling, period. And that's why he was able to parlay that into getting cashed out. So this is J Max Sport 24/7. This is the channel we talk about the Dallas Cowboys. I talk about my UNC Tar Heels men's and women basketball. I talk about the Lakers, and I talk about my poorly, sometimes terrific Cincinnati Reds. So that being said, next time I come back to you, I'll be talking about the preseason game against the LA Rams. And I'm really interested in seeing what our offensive line look like, because we don't go anywhere or do anything without an offensive line. And so I'm already, don't have any much to say about our backfield right now. That's later on. J Max Sport 24/7.